Investors having MGM Resorts International NYSEMGM on their lists might want to take into consideration the gross margin score of the firm. MGM Resorts International currently has a score of 15.00000. This score is derived from the gross margin mark stability and growth over the previous 8 years. The gross margin score lands on a scale from 1 to 100, where a score of 1 would be considered positive, and a score of 100 would be seen as negative. The low score of 15.00000 for MGM Resorts International indicates a top score for stability and growth. Checking in on some valuation rankings, MGM Resorts International NYSEMGM has a value composite score of 38. Developed by James O'Shaughnessy, the VC score uses 5 valuation ratios. These ratios are price to earnings, price to cash flow, EBITDA to EV, price to book value, and price to sales. The VC is displayed as a number between 1 and 100. In general, a company with a score closer to 0 would be seen as undervalued, and a score closer to 100 would indicate an overvalued company. Adding a 6th ratio, shareholder yield, we can view the value composite 2 score, which is currently sitting at 45. In trying to determine the current valuation of MGM Resorts International NYSEMGM shares, we note that the book-to-market ratio of the shares stands at 0.367188. It's commonly accepted that a book-to-market ratio greater than 1 indicates that the shares might be undervalued. The book-to-market ratio has some limitations in certain industries, however, where intangible assets such as knowledge often are not represented on a balance sheet. The ratio is calculated by dividing the market price per share by book value per share. At the time of writing, MGM Resorts International NYSEMGM has a Piotrowski FS score of 6. The FS score may help discover companies with strengthening balance sheets. The score may also be used to spot the weak performers. Joseph Piotrowski developed the FS score, which employs 9 different variables based on the company financial statement. A single point is assigned to each test that a stock passes. Typically, a stock scoring an 8 or 9 would be seen as strong. On the other end, a stock with a score from 0 to would be viewed as weak. MGM Resorts International NYSEMGM has a current ERP5 rank of 9,027. The ERP5 rank may assist investors with spotting companies that are undervalued. This ranking uses 4 ratios. These ratios are earnings yield, ROIC, price to book, and 5-year average ROIC. When looking at the ERP5 ranking, it is generally considered the lower the value, the better. Ever wonder how investors predict positive share price momentum? The cross SMA 50,200, also known as the Golden Cross, is the 50-day moving average divided by the 200-day moving average. The SMA 50,200 for MGM Resorts International NYSEMGM is currently 1.04926. If the Golden Cross is greater than 1, then the 50-day moving average is above the 200-day moving average, indicating a positive share price momentum. If the Golden Cross is less than 1, then the 50-day moving average is below the 200-day moving average, indicating that the price might drop. The leverage ratio of MGM Resorts International NYSEMGM is 0.479244. Leverage ratio is the total debt of a company divided by total assets of the current and past year divided by 2. Companies take on debt to finance their day-to-day operations. The leverage ratio can measure how much of a company's capital comes from debt. With this ratio, investors can better estimate how well a company will be able to pay their long and short-term financial obligations. ROIC. There are many different tools to determine whether a company is profitable or not. One of the most popular ratios is the return on assets, aka ROA. This score indicates how profitable a company is relative to its total assets. The return on assets for MGM Resorts International NYSEMGM is 0.036826. This number is calculated by dividing net income after tax by the company's total assets. A company that manages their assets well will have a higher return, while a company that manages their assets poorly will have a lower return. The return on invested capital, aka ROIC, for MGM Resorts International NYSEMGM is 0.077214. The return on invested capital is a ratio that determines whether a company is profitable or not. It tells investors how well a company is turning their capital into profits. The ROIC is calculated by dividing the net operating profit, or EBIT, by the employed capital. The employed capital is calculated by subtracting current liabilities from total assets. Similarly, the return on invested capital quality ratio is a tool in evaluating the quality of a company's ROIC over the course of 5 years. The ROIC quality of MGM Resorts International NYSEMGM is 3.369336. This is calculated by dividing the 5-year average ROIC by the standard deviation of the 5-year ROIC. The ROIC 5-year average is calculated using the 5-year average EBIT, 5-year average net working capital and net fixed assets. The ROIC 5-year average of MGM Resorts International NYSEMGM is 0.060209.